Hey everybody, how we doing? This is Marty, the man from YouTube. Uh, have a new unveiling video. This is not a traditional unboxing video. Um, Fortunately or unfortunately, I get hit with the PSA surcharge or the upgrade fee for the first time ever, which some people dread. I've never had it before. I've been submitting cards for a long time. Apparently, none of my cards were ever valuable enough to get the upgrade charge. But I got here with a magazine, so I wasn't pumped about paying the extra money. But again, in the long term, it means your magazine's more valuable. So it is what it is, which is why this is not an unboxing video. When I got the email, I needed to accept the upcharge. I think I could have done that without seeing the grades, but it was my first time doing it, so I flubbed it. I saw the grades, so it is what it is. I didn't want to put on a pretend video and act like I had no idea what was coming. Um, so again, I'll talk a little bit about that and why I did it, why I submitted things this way. So with all my magazines this time, I think it's what I'm going to do going forward. I'm going to use PSA's pressing services. Um, I always press them myself. In the past, I've had other people press them for me too. Now I have the ability to do it myself. Uh, but I've read comments, I've read other people's opinions. I think just having PSA press the magazines as well, just enhances your opportunity of getting a better grade, which is what it's all about. So going forward, when I look at grading fees and processes, I'm just lumping the pressing in there with it. That's just going to be part of it for me going forward. Because again, if it can ensure or at least help my odds of getting a better grade, I'm going to do it every time. So I sent 3 magazines in here this time. I'll talk a little about the surcharge and all that stuff. But without further ado, we'll get into it. So this is a pop culture piece. If you've seen my other videos, you know I'm a big music guy, big Eddie Van Halen guy specifically. So I have 2 of his Guitar World first covers, which again I think Guitar World's the preeminent guitar magazine out there. So I've got even Eddie Van Halen's first covers. I believe that's from January of 1981. Don't quote me on that. But I've got 2 of those CGC grades. And there's about 5 of those out there, and I've got 2 of them, so I like those a lot. Uh, but I also, other than preeminent covers, I think first covers in general are always nice to have. So this is Eddie Van Halen's first magazine cover of any kind before. Um, this is Guitar Player Volume 14, Number 4. This is from April of 1980, so it almost predates the Guitar World from about a year. Uh, I also love they got the label on here. It says first Eddie Van Halen solo American magazine cover. To my knowledge, this is his first magazine cover of any kind. But again, I'm not going to complain. They're putting that on the label for me. I love that. That's awesome. I ordered this on eBay raw. Um, the condition on the pictures on eBay were way better. Like I think this could have graded as high as an 8 even based on those pictures. The guy who shipped it to me took zero effort, did not care at all, and this thing got trashed on its way to me in the mail. So I pressed it, gave it some TLC, did the best I could with it, got it up to a 6.5 apparently, but this should have been a much nicer copy. This is the only one at PSA. I think there's a couple, maybe one, 2, or 3 at CGC. But I think this is a cool piece. Again, one of the most influential popular guitar players of all time, his first magazine cover. I'm happy to have this one slabbed up. Next, we are going to go to a Patrick Mahomes first cover. It's a newsstand. It's a 9.2. So this is one of the first times, or the only time so far, that I saw CGC slab on eBay, and I thought that I could maybe make some improvements. So this was originally a CGC 9.0. I looked at it. I looked at the pictures closely, went to CGC's pictures, zoomed in. I thought there were some things that I could improve. Looked like some simple, spine ticks and just some bends and folds and stuff that I thought I could get out. So I bought it. It was a good price on eBay to CGC 9. Afterwards, I messaged the seller on eBay. He's a very nice person. I just asked him, hey, had you pressed this or done anything to it before you sent it in? He told me he had not. So I felt better about my chances, sent it in. Again, I pressed it myself, had PSA press it as well. It went up, 1 grade. So it went from a 9.0 to 9.2 and a PSA slab. So I was pretty happy about that. I think he's going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So I think his value should go up over time. Uh, so pretty happy to have this piece. And again, I got a small improvement from a CGC to a PSA. So lastly, I'm going to talk. This is a pretty unique piece. So before I show it to you, so this is Michael Jordan's A Star Is Born. It's a subscription copy. It's one I had. So if you've been watching me, I got a lot of my initial stuff was my grandparents after they passed away that they hung on to. Some was good shape, some it wasn't. But this was in that first lot that I found, and I thought this thing was in awesome shape. The label came off super easily, no residue, no glue. Thing looked awesome. Um, so this is what I got the upcharge on. I'm going to talk a little bit about the upcharges. So when I sent everything in to get something graded with PSA at the basic level for a modern magazine, it's usually $25.99 for the grading, and then $11.99 for the pressing. So that's what I did. So the upcharge on this one, it's a pretty big jump. So they're putting it in their, I can't think what it's called now, their highly valuable tier. So again, that's cool for me. Again, I don't like paying extra money, but if it means it's worth more, that's awesome. But the charges are significant. So the $25.99 grading fee went up to $99.99. So a $75 jump in the grading fee. And then even larger was that the pressing fee went from $11.99 to $74.99. So again, those things jumped up a ton. So an extra 75, so an extra 150 bucks ish, 130, $150 for this magazine because PSA deemed it was more valuable. So again, that's great. Again, if they think it's more valuable, that's awesome. I hope they're correct. I paid a little extra money for it, but again, it's not something I'm crazy about. But again, if it means I'm making more money or holding more valuable or more value here, cool, I'll take it. So, but there's more to this story. So, I got this magazine initially out of my grandparents' lot they had. I got the label off easy; it's clean. This is before I was into pressing or knew much about it, so I didn't do anything to this magazine. Didn't press it, nothing. Just put it in a bag and boarded it. Sent it to CGC to get graded. This is what it came back as. Oh no, spoiler. This was what it came back initially as. It was a 6.5 from CGC. All right. I thought this was much better than a 6.5. I was pretty bummed about it. So I got it. This was the first magazine I ever cracked. I cracked it. I took it out. I sent it to James Cahoe. Everybody knows James. He's a reputable face in the hobby. He's known for pressing and cleaning. I sent it to him to get it pressed and cleaned. I know he does a great job. It came back. It looked great. That was right around the time PSA came into the picture. So I sent my cracked 6.5 Star Is Born Jordan after. So again, this 6.5 had never been pressed. Nothing had ever been done to it ever. After James pressed it for me, and I know James did a great job. This is no fault to James. So after he pressed it, goes to PSA, and it comes back a 5.5. Drops an entire grade from a 6.5 to a 5.5. So I was frustrated. I was like, man, I got this pressed and cleaned, and it went down a whole grade. I think a lot of that speaks to PSA grading harder on label removal. I don't have another explanation for it. I saw several other copies from PSA like this online that looked, visually much worse than this, that were in higher grades. So I was frustrated. So I cracked it again, and I said I'm going to give it one more shot. So I sent it back to PSA, and this time I used their pressing services. So on my third attempt grading and using their pressing services, it went from a 5.5 to a 7. So, sorry, trying to get this there for you. So I'm happy that it went from a 5.5 to a 7. It seems a little crazy, just using PSA pressing services and nothing else, literally nothing else, move this up 1.5 on the grading scale. But again, I'm happy with it, and it was a big enough jump apparently to where PSA thought it was worth an upcharge. So just an interesting thing. This thing's kind of been through the ringer. It's traveled around the country a couple times. I don't know if I'm going to come out ahead on it. Hopefully, I mean, it's a long-term hold for me. I'm not trying to do anything right now. So hopefully, in the end, I'm coming out ahead on this. But it's a cool piece. Um, I will say this is the staples were a little funky, and I've seen a lot of posts. This is pretty current here, and this is not going to do it justice here. I don't know why I'm trying to do this. Um, but when I got this, it's come out of the staples basically, and I don't think it was the pressing, and I think I had to do something with the shipping or encasement. But it's pressed the entire cover, the front and back, off of the staples to where it's a little bit loose now. So when this came in the mail, the cover had actually slid up from the rest of the magazine. I don't know, an eighth of an inch, maybe a little less, but it was noticeable. And when I looked at the picture on PSA, it wasn't like that. So at some point in the shipping or something, it had shifted a little bit, but either way, it had to be from something that happened there with the staples. So not the end of the world, although I'm not real pumped about damage to magazines, especially something that they're considering a high level, a high value magazine at this point. To their credit, I will say, I think her name's Elizabeth at PSA. She's been involved, in the Facebook group from a long time, from the get-go. She's been super helpful. A lot of people are talking about it, sharing pictures. She's been on there. She said that they're working on this actively. They're aware of it. She said you could message her directly or message customer support talking about it. They're going to do something to correct it. What that will be, I don't know yet, but I at least like that they're taking the effort and the time to look into this and doing it in a personal way. So, Elizabeth, if you do see this, I appreciate the effort. I sent you a message. We'll see what you say. So, again, I guess the moral of my tale here is that if you want to stick with PSA and want to use their products, I think it's worth the extra money to use their pressing. Do your own pressing, do your own cleaning at home if you're able to do that, if you know how to do it. But if you want to ensure you're going to get the best grade possible, I'd use PSA's pressing. That's what I'm going to do going forward. It's more money. I know it is what it is. It's just, I know there's things we could say about it, good and bad, and it is what it is. I'm going to do that going forward. I think it helped all my grades. Obviously, all my grades went up by using it. So I guess that's my main takeaway. I've got another magazine, kind of a higher end one that I just sent off, so I'm waiting to get that back. It hasn't been received yet. But that's kind of where I'm at in the hobby right now, other than buying raw stuff, always looking for the next deal, for the next cool magazine to add to my collection. So appreciate you watching the video. Let me know if you got questions, comments, drop them in there if you've had similar issues or concerns, or if you're thinking about cracking and repressing stuff. Again, appreciate you checking it out, and I'll see you around.